We know that getting cows out early in the spring is very important. Moore Park research has shown that this adds a value of €2.70 per cow per day to have cows out in the spring. This is achieved through lower feed costs and better milk composition. To put this in context, this means an extra €400 per day to the Curtains farm here.
On this farm, cows go to grass day and night as soon as they calve, which reduces our feed bill considerably, as we only plan to feed about 200 kgs of concentrate per cow. And we also produce higher quality milk when they're grazing on grass, and this improves animal welfare.
This is the first paddock that cows will go into here in the Curtains farm in the spring. It is an average farm cover of 1200 kgs of dry matter per hectare. As you can see from the average farm covers, it's not the highest farm cover, but it will get cows kick-started into grazing, as they have been on a silage-based diet for the last 6 weeks.
As you can see, this is not our highest cover, but nonetheless we feel it's a good place to start, because it's for a number of reasons. It's a low cover and it's very good quality grass, and it'll get the cows adjusted to grazing again before we go into the higher covers. And it's also near the parlour, and it's a small paddock, so they go through fairly quickly. I walked the farm yesterday to get my farm cover of 812 kgs dry matter per hectare. I looked at my budget, which I completed last autumn, and found that my requirement was 690. So I know I've loads of grass and I can drive on now with confidence.
The starting point is to get out and do the average farm cover on your own farm this week. Compare this to the grass budget which you've already prepared. So immediately after the cows start calving, get them out onto grass. This grass has 87% DMD and 26% protein, which was recently tested. February and March can be two difficult months in grazing conditions, especially if you have a wet farm or wet paddocks, or if the weather conditions aren't suitable. So how do you manage to graze your paddocks in these wet conditions and get cows out as early as possible? Well, first of all, you get a proper farm roadway, followed by plenty of access points to your paddocks. You can see from the Curtains farm here, it's very well laid out. The focus in the spring is to get your herd fully fed, along with grazing out your paddocks properly.
As you can see, this is our heaviest cover at 1700 kgs. It's probably a bit heavier than the ideal, but nonetheless we feel that with allocating grass on a 12-hour basis, using a back fence, and by having a large amount of cows grazing, we should be able to utilise it effectively.
The immediate few days after a cow calves, her dry matter intake is only 2 to 3 kgs of dry matter per cow per day. By the second week, her dry matter intake is at 12 kgs per cow per day, and this is the total intake. She would be on 3 kilos of concentrate here, along with 9 kilos of grass by week 2. By the end of the first rotation, the cow is on 18 kgs of dry matter per day, and this would include 3 kilos of concentrate and 15 kilos of grass dry matter. Alternatively, if you're dusting the paddocks, or if you're getting in Calmag in some other way, then you can remove the supplement straight away after calving, and you can allocate the correct amount of grass to her at that stage. This will ensure that the cow is fully fed and be in proper condition, along with grazing out the paddocks properly. It's critical, if cows are going out early to grass, that you get the grass growing quickly. 75% of this farm is receiving half a bag of urea at the moment, that's the middle of January, per acre. The urea is the preferred option because it's cheaper than its alternatives, and it works better in wetter, damper conditions. 25% of this farm is receiving 2,500 gallons per acre of watery slurry.
2,500 gallons per acre of watery slurry is the equivalent of a half bag of urea per acre. This is one such paddock that's getting the slurry. It's got a cover of 400 kilos and hasn't been grazed since late autumn. It won't be grazed again until late March, at which time the slurry will have been washed into the soil.
Many of you will have paddocks on your farm at this stage that will only have a lower cover of 400, and they will not grow much over the next couple of weeks. Such as this paddock here has been stopped since the middle of November, and there's only a cover of 400 on it. And it also has open patches such as this here, So the plan here would be to get in with the cows over the next 2 or 3 weeks and graze the paddock out so that it can get kick started and grow for the rest of the spring.